Chapter 9, Part A, Briefs. Professional Ethics. So Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "Every man takes care that his neighbor doesn't cheat him. But a day comes when he begins to take care that he doesn't cheat his neighbor. Then all goes well." So what does this mean? The world will be good when we all learn to be honest and take care of each other. So the Realtor Code of Ethics of Canadian Real Estate Association is a sign that is recognized by the public as professional conduct can be expected from its member. Basically means, so when you look into the mirror, so you see you are the one who's going to make a decision that to be honest. Because when the realtor get the offer from all other realtors, so then they have to be fair, presenting all the offer to his client. Realtor Code and Standards of Business Practice is a collection of rules of conduct that is voluntarily imposed, highlighted voluntarily, imposed by CREA. All its members agree as a condition of membership to observe these rules. Approximately 99%, 99 of the state licensee across Canada are member of the state board. So the question comes, how many persons are member? 99, right? So 1% of them are not. You can still be a real estate agent, but only thing you won't have a board membership. You won't have the MLS link, right? So the Realtor Code is higher than the standard of business. So higher. The standard of business practice. The code demonstrates the high professionalism. So highlight high professionalism that must be carried out by its member. The standard of business practice sets out 27 articles of rules of conduct. So that highlight 27 articles. The duty to uphold the law. Realtors must conduct themselves according to the standards of business practice, statutory and regulatory requirements. So basically Income Tax Competition Act. So basically they have to maintain law. So this is Article 18. A realtor must report a colleague unethical illegal act. So Article 22. Basically if the other guy is doing something unethical, illegal, and he must report. So that's Article 22. So Article 18 regarding income tax and competition. And duty to uphold human rights. Non-discrimination. Any member shall not deny your services for reason of race, national or ethnic origin, religion, color, sex, family status, age or sexual orientation, marital status or disability. So basically, so you can't discriminate. So that's Article 16. And applies to hiring practices, cooperating with other realtors, accepting listing, etc. Duty to a client in a real estate transaction. Licensee is required to provide a skilled and conscientious service upon entering into an agency relationship. Basically, you need to know what you're doing. Right? Sometimes realtors don't know how to fill. If somebody says, "I want to buy a hotel," you don't know. You're saying, "Okay, I'll buy you." So you are not competent for that. So you can get help from somebody who knows that. Right? So one person required you to understand the extent of the real estate professional duty to ascertain the facts respecting a real estate transaction. So basically, duty to make sure about the facts. So this is Article 1. It is the realtor's duty to be informed and knowledgeable, highlighted informed and knowledgeable about all aspects of a transaction before providing advice, etc. You have an ethical duty to protect the public against fraud, unethical practices, and misrepresentation. So highlight 3 of them: fraud, unethical, and misrepresentation. How? You must be informed of all the essential facts which affect current market condition, so you can counsel clients responsibly, such as price levels in an area, highlight price level in an area, current and pending legislation that affect real property, means zoning bylaws, GST, HST, or other tax. Basically HST. So year from now is gonna be again the same old one, right? So you need to, and the zoning, sometimes the zoning change from agriculture to residential, so the price changes, right? You have a duty to search out any pertinent facts and information necessary to your transaction. If information is discoverable or verifiable, then you must do so. So check out the title search. So when you do a title search, you find out the if there's any easement or something, right? Duty of advice and fully, candidly and honestly. Good news and bad news, but you need to know both. Counsel clients in a responsible manner. So counsel client basically means, so you take care, you just think yourself, you are a client. So what are you going to look for, right? If there's a bad news, so don't just hide it. For example, doing the inspection, so there's a major problem, roof leak, big plumbing, and you don't want to share it now, so that you lose the deal, right? So you have to, yeah. And avoiding error, misrepresentation, or concealment means hiding facts. So don't hide facts or items of great importance. So basically, disclosing all options. A real estate professional has an ethical duty to present all options. So I'll present all options to a client and act in the client's best interest. Another offer comes in just before you're about to show your offer. You must disclose which offer is the better option for the vendor, regardless of how it affects your commission. So normally what the realtors do, so they're making double and they don't show this is done, right? And they phone their friend, okay, send an offer, right? So you shouldn't be doing that. Be honest. Present all the offers. If your offer is lower, so don't. So present all and let the client make a decision. Incomplete advice may lead to results that are not in the client's best interest. You forgot to mention to the vendor that the buyer who's assuming the vendor mortgage, assuming, has a criminal record for fraud, right? And is wanted by American Most Wanted. So this is very, right? Duty to follow client's instruction. You have an ethical duty to obey client's instruction and put all instruction in writing. So I'll add in writing, right? No showing on Sunday until after 2 p.m. If you say no showing until 2 p.m., so don't show, right? Write this in the listing agreement. No showing, right? Agent who doesn't obey a principal's instruction may lose his entitlement to the agreed fee or commission and is personally responsible for any civil damages that result of a breach of a fiduciary duty. Basically means you have to follow the client's instruction. Okay. Confidential. The duty of discretion. Client entrust professional with confidential information. Basically, he trusts you. Entrust means he trusts you, right? Fiduciary duty, moral duty. Highlight moral duty to keep confidential any facts or information acquired. So highlight moral duty too. Personal civil liability for damages caused to a party as a result of a disclosure of confidential information. So basically, you can be liable, right, for civil liability if you disclose. Developer has hired you to purchase the 5 houses needed in order to build Walmart, but you are at Timmy's having coffee and blah blah to your best friend, right? So you can't tell. You can't discuss confidential information.